Hello and welcome to my channel. I mostly surf in the winter in order to avoid the crowds, and here's what I think you should know about surfing in the winter or in cold water in general. The first thing you should know is that it's not as cold as you think it will be if you wear the proper gear. However, with that necessary gear, it is going to make winter surfing and cold water surfing more expensive than it would be if you lived in a warm or tropical area where you just need a swimsuit, a board, surf leash, some wax, etc. So here's the gear that you need in order to surf in cold water. First, you're going to need a thick wetsuit. So this will be about a 5'4" or sometimes even a 6'5" millimeter wetsuit. They are expensive. They go anywhere from $200 to $500. I bought mine at a wetsuit warehouse, but you can also get these at surf shops, of course. I definitely recommend trying these on before purchase. Different brands have different definitions of sizes. I would recommend getting a wetsuit with a built-in hood and also going a size up, because you never know if the wetsuit might shrink or if you might expand, as I've found myself doing over the years. When you have a wetsuit that is one size larger than what you normally wear, it is a lot easier to get into, and it doesn't make it too big to where there's water coming in. So the next gear item you are going to want to have are a pair of gloves in either 5mm or 7mm. 6mm will work too. I don't think you want to go any lower than this, especially if the water's 40 degrees. Your fingertips will start to get cold after a little bit in the water. These are 7mm. They are by Hyperflex and they were $40 USD. You can find these on Amazon, I'll link it below, or you can find these in any surf shop. Scuba diving shops also have these gloves. You can get them in fingers, or you can get them in the lobster or oven mitt style. The next piece of gear you're going to want to have are booties. Definitely recommend getting these in 5mm or 7mm. I had to upgrade because I was using 3mm and they just were not enough for the water. I surf on the east coast of the US and it gets pretty cold here in the winter. These will run you about $50 to $70 USD. Unfortunately, it's really difficult to find any of this stuff thrifted. I have tried to find thrifted things in the past for surfing. So you sometimes can find board shorts or things like maybe a wetsuit top, but it's really difficult to find stuff that's in good shape and thrifted, so your best bet, unfortunately, is just to buy it new. You could wait till Black Friday or when these shops have sales and then go in and buy it on clearance. The next item that's very important to have is the correct wax, which I was using the wrong wax for years, apparently. I moved here from Hawaii and I was using apparently tropical wax. I didn't even realize it because I had taken it out of the box, and someone who was surfing with me noticed that it was like coming off or something, and they said, "What kind of wax is that?" And I said, "I don't know." And so I had to go out and buy cold water wax, which is specifically for, icy conditions. Wax is, $5 or $10, I think. One thing you need to remember if you haven't surfed in a wetsuit is that you may get tired out pretty quickly being out in the cold water, and then with the wetsuit, because it does constrict your movement a bit. Also keep in mind that it might take you anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to change in and out of your wetsuit. I know for me it takes at least 10 minutes to get in and out. In general, you will need to plan extra time before and after your surf session to get in and out of your gear, as well as rinsing it off and putting it into a tub or a bag. One thing that is super handy to have is a changing poncho, or better yet, a dry robe, which I bought this past year on Black Friday, and it has been life-changing. I got my dry robe from Mountain Warehouse. It blocks the wind chill, and then the inner part of it is lined with fleece, so it's super warm, and then it unzips from both the top and the bottom. I can't recommend it more. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I also use a changing mat, but that's something that you can use in any climate. So some people who surf in cold water also have a thermos of hot liquid in their car to drink after they get out of the water. I personally don't do this. I sometimes just go through the drive-thru of a coffee stand and get something hot to drink, and also the heater in my car works. So drinking hot liquids post-surf will warm your body temperature, your body's core temperature up. So it is a good idea to have. I personally have found that just changing out of my wetsuit, and then of course the wet swimsuit that I wear underneath, which some people don't wear swimsuits underneath their wetsuit, whatever's comfortable for you. But I found that getting out of this, of course, just really helps me warm up, obviously. And then drying off properly, changing into a warm pair of sweatpants, Uggs, and a hoodie just really does wonders for the body. And having a working heater in your car is obviously super important. If you live in an area that gets cold weather, you probably already have one, hopefully. When I moved from Hawaii to the east coast of the US, the military shipped my vehicle and I did not have a working heater. I had to get that fixed real quick. So the last two things that I think are super helpful, especially with wetsuits and gear, are a gear hanger like so. So you stick the boots right here. I had some audio issues, so I had to re-record this, but the gloves go here, the boots go here, and then you can hang whatever, like a swimsuit or whatever you need right here. These are available at scuba shops as well, because there's like a little thing that says mask, snorkel, etc. I would get the ones that have, there's like a bottom hanger, like a little slot. You can put your wetsuit on there. I will link some, I'll put some right here on the screen, link them below. I think Host TV sells one, but you can fold your wetsuit over. That is the best way to dry off your wetsuit, so there's no pull on the shoulders. I do have a wide shoulder hanger from Host Stevie that allows your wetsuit's shoulders and everything else to dry off, so it's not just on a thin hanger with all that weight. Those are really good. I'll put that up here and link it below. I also love having a dry bag. This is a backpack. It's obviously waterproof. I put all my gear in here. This one comes with little water bottle pockets. I put my water in there, everything. And then I put extra stuff like GoPro supplies and everything in here, sometimes driver's license. And then I just leave it on the beach where I can see it and nobody's stolen it yet. I will always keep my eye on the bag, and then I also use it to align my surfing. This is kind of necessary too if you've got a lot of gear, like if you bring your towel out to the beach or your changing robe, you can put it in there. One of the biggest things about surfing in the winter or in the off season at all is that the water, like spray stations and stuff like that, they're going to be shut off at the beach. The bathrooms will probably be closed as well. They do that to prevent the freezing of pipes and everything. So you're going to want to bring your own water. I do usually bring plastic jugs and I just refill them with tap water at home and put them in the back of my car. And then I use those to rinse myself off with my gear and everything. They also make spray bags that you can use as a hose. I did try one. It did not work very well. I am going to experiment some more later on this winter, so hopefully I'll get one that actually works. Lastly, another thing I do to keep myself organized and on track is to make a list of gear and everything else I need to pack. It is quite extensive if you're going to be winter surfing, especially if you have to travel like I do. I have to drive 3.5 hours to the beach, so I need to be on my P's and Q's. I also usually spend the night when I go surfing. So this is my gear packing list. I also bring cameras, obviously, because I film this, so that requires some gear and everything like that. There's just so much gear you need for winter surfing, so I like to keep myself on track, and even for summer surfing too, wouldn't be a bad idea to have a list. I think that's everything. Comment down below what you like to pack for winter surfing, and also what you think people should know about surfing if they are new to the sport or new to cold water surfing. Also comment down below for video ideas and suggestions. Thanks for watching. For more surfing content, including warm and cold water surfing, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.